2008 when I released Leading Horses. It was so exciting for me. I was beginning my my industrial looping phase. I had put together a bunch of possible looping ideas, and I sent them to Weston to make background tracks, and then I just put them in order of sound that I liked, and then I had a stack of songs that I'd written, and I just started vocalizing to the noise, and I knew this was the future of Paisley sound, is, you know, at least for the next couple years. And Leading Horses was my last collaboration with Weston. He did the drum stuff for me, meaning he edited the loops for me, and Don Maloney recorded the record here in Arizona, and Don Maloney and Karen Bimber did backup vocals on the record. It was the first record that I had anybody make any sound on the record that wasn't me. They were my creepy choir. And the first song on the record, the title track, Leading Horses, well, dang it, it's the best thing I've ever done. I don't know. I love that song. I loved it. It reminded me of the whole record reminded me of David Bowie's Lodger record, which is my favorite Bowie record. So I stole from the best. And Leading Horses was, you know, of course, that you can lead horses to water, but you can't make them drink, and about stubborn Christians and that were drowning in dirty water, our misunderstanding of Scripture and our misunderstanding of God's love. But it's all fine because we just joined the choir of the church, and the song really set the tone for not just the record, but my future records. It was like Zombies all grown up. You know, definitely wasn't a three-chord rock record like Zombies. And Zombies came from a place of pain and a certain degree of victimdom. But Leading Horses, I was just a fierce feral beast, just taking it all on, just saying, you guys are idiots, and someone has to point it out, and the prophet has arrived, and yep, there's no humility in Leading Horses whatsoever. I was thrilled to make that record. I was beyond thrilled how it turned out. I'm sitting in like needles that are poking me. So I'm actually putting my own blood into this video. Hope I don't get infected. I hate that. And the second song on the record is Ticket to Ride, which I had done previously. But I brought it back for Leading Horses kind of as an homage to Weston coming up with that trick of looping a particular noise and me turning it into a whole drum track. And Ticket to Ride, I actually looped Iggy Pop's Night Clubbing. So it's funny that I'm bagging on the Beatles and stealing from Iggy Pop, and the Stooges were definitely like one of my favorite bands. And the song still is about a commentary of our current culture of, you know, decades after the influence of the Beatles, decades after the influence of punk rock and the specter of AIDS, and where Christianity is at now, and what it's like to be a post-rocker, post-glam rocker, post-punk rocker Christian in the new millennium. And it comes down to I just want to get as many people on board the Jesus bus as possible, and The third song, The Whole World, of course, is He's Got the Whole World in His Hands, and I know people are very surprised to find out that I wrote that. And it was, again, me including another spiritual in my song cycle. But I used as background music on it something I looped from a band called Christian Death. Clearly an anti-Christian band, and they were a phenomenal Los Angeles band back in the day. I was in a band, and our bands would be playing all the time at the same time, and thank you. Okay. And I love the creepy sound of The Whole World, and I got my creepy choir going, and yeah, I took a hopeful song of no matter who you are and what you are and where you are and what you're doing and how bad things seem to be, God's got it under His control, and by tainting the positive message of the song with creepy, scary graveyard music, I think I accomplished pointing out that what exactly does that mean, He's got the whole world in His hands? I might have actually challenged the song, saying I'm not really sure what this song means actually, and I think that a lot of people don't know what it means if you think about it, that God's got the whole world in His hands when they're suffering and the world's in such chaos and such division, and I'm not sure He does have the whole world in His hands. Maybe He in the song is Satan. Maybe Satan has the whole world in his hands, and He's got you and me, brother, in His hands. He's got you and me, sister. And I didn't use the verse that you always hear. He's got all the little children in His hands, and it's kind of interesting. You know, it is kind of the Marilyn Manson-like gospel tune on that record, and never even really thought about it. I just thought I would challenge it and just see what people made of it. It was a very popular song to do in concert. I'm actually considering re-recording it for one of my upcoming records. Interesting. Maybe I'm not done with He's Got the Whole World in His hands, so I guess we'll find out. It was interesting to have this collaboration with Weston on this record and have it be the end of it. You know, we were in different parts of the state, and we're filming in Los Angeles and in Hollywood, and it's so funny because every single person walking by is talking on a cell phone like it's a commercial. I wish I could be filming what I'm watching. It was very interesting to work with him, not in the same room and sending stuff through the mail, and he really did a spectacular job on that record, and I'm very grateful that I now have Dawn, but that in-between period sure was rough to lose such a dear friend and lose such a incredible spiritual influence and inspiration, and more than anything, I'm just glad that I had my time with him, and I have so much to show for it, and Leading Horses, we sure went out with a bang. We really went out with a bang, and the overall record says so much about the condition of modern Christianity and where my heart's at with that, and it also has a really good beat and you can dance to it, and as I sit here in the heart of American punk rock, where it all was happening, and realize that decades later I got to go and do this really nasty record that sounds so rough and tough, I'm really grateful to God for where He's taken me.